Okay, are you still believing that the experts know what they're talking about when they say they know how you can make more money as long as you give them money? Well, I think we gotta stop doing that stuff. Nothing's really working anymore. Everybody's income seems to be going down, except a few fat cats on top, and the rest of us are struggling. And really, I think what life is about is options. I don't know what really works either. I try every day new stuff, and I don't know what works, and we all struggle like that. But the point is you can't waste money, giving to people on trying things that they believe that works and won't anyway, and how do you do it yourself? And that's what I'm trying to do in my new service called grantsandcrowdfunding.com. And I'm trying to show you alternatives. They may or may not work. I can't guarantee anything in life. Nobody can. And these experts say, yeah, I know the answer. Like they knew what would solve Wall Street problems, or who's going to win the Republican convention, or things like that, before it happens. Nobody knows until it happens. And it's all different for all of us. So we have to try. And what I've done is put together a website that has all the free stuff. So you could try free stuff first. Why pay for things when you don't know it's going to work? Nobody knows what's going to work. So what I want people to do is know about the free things that are out there, so you try those first, and see if they work. And it really has to come from the inside. That's what it's all about. When you try somebody else's idea, about what to do in life, and it may or may not work. It worked for somebody, but maybe not you. You have to dig inside. It's all about taking your insides. You have to deal with the outside world too, but most of us leave our insides alone, and that's the key ingredient to anything, is your insides, and using that to make things work for you in life. So I want to show you tools that don't cost any money for you to take your insides and interpret the outside world for you to do what you want in life and have the life that you want. And that's why it's all about government programs that are out there to help you for free. It's all about things that are on the internet now that can help you for free, whether it's crowdfunding and peer-to-peer and the shared economy. These are exciting things, and they're all growing. Actually, there's some of these crowd sharing platforms and things that are actually giving more money to people than government grants are, and it's easier, and no credit checks and things like that. And what I'm doing now too is with the services, you give me a subject, any subject you have, and I'll show you the programs in your area that are for free to help you solve that problem. No, that's right, free. I'll do the research. I'll give you, actually what I'm giving you is a tutorial, a video tutorial. I'll research, I'll find the programs that are best in your area. You'll never find these in Google, because you're going to look for help, and the people you get on Google, people selling you stuff. The free stuff you never find. You'll get billions and billions of websites, and you'll never find the stuff in there that's really for free. So let me save you all that time and work. And I'll categorize them together, show you where they are in your neighborhood, give you the links, and give you instructions on what to do with them. Now, here are some people that I help. Look at these videos that follow. They're people that I help with different problems, and you'll see how I do that. So if you join, it's very reasonable. Grantsandcrowdfunding.com. Just tell me what you're looking for, do the customer service thing, and we'll give you a video report on what's in your area to solve your problem for free. Don't believe these hucksters that want a lot of money from you. So watch these, and they'll give you an idea of what's going on. Okay, now here's a woman who needs help paying for dental work. And her and her husband need a lot of dental work done. So I was able to, in the 10-minute tutor session, show her the best places to start finding free money for dental help. Okay, you had another question. You had another question? Or?
Yes. My husband and I are both in need of dental work. And in his case, expensive dental work.
Oh, you need dental work, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, he's on Medi-Cal, which doesn't really provide that much as far as
dental. Yeah.
Would you have any idea?
Yes, they're the only places I know off the top of my head are dental schools in the area. See, that's that's where a great deal is. I've even gone into the past, because I mean, you get a student, but you get the professor too, and so it's good work, but it's just a fraction of what you pay. It may not be as convenient or whatever, but man, dental, I mean, it's killer now. The other thing I was reading that they're going to have, like in Minnesota, they're going to have like dental assistants to do work. Sort of like, like in nursing, you have a nurse practitioner that could do a lot of doctor stuff. They're going to get that with dental. But that's there. So look for dental schools in the area. Then what to do is call 211 at your clearinghouse of all nonprofits in your area and ask them about dental work. Who may provide those kind of services, or whatever, that because these are nonprofit organizations or government programs, for something like that. Then the third place I would look is in Sacramento, you'll have an office that regulates all dentists. They have to be licensed. Okay? So, but they would know organizations or dentists or whatever that offer discounts or specials or whatever, so people have trouble paying for this.
Oh.
Now another thing, another person I interviewed once is a woman who went and did a crowdfunding campaign on it. Do you know about crowdfunding?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. And that's not hard to do. I mean, it takes hustle to get people to know about your campaign. But it's interesting. I don't know. If you go to bigdatalesko.com, I have about bigdatalesko, Lesko.com. I have about 1,500 videos of people who have done crowdfunding and all kinds of free stuff like that. And pardon me? Yeah, 15. Yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 3 years. I've been interviewing people all over the world who use money on the internet for free to do things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I videotape them and make them available so other people could learn about this stuff. How'd you hear I was doing this, Jerry?
I am actually on an email list.
Okay, I see. Okay. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, well, just bang away, and if we don't respond, just hit us up again or whatever, okay?
You got it.
Okay. Was it any of this helpful, Jerry?
Oh, very helpful.
Okay.
I had no idea about the dental school option.
Yeah, that's a great deal, yeah. Yep, until we figure out health... Pardon me?
I didn't realize there was crowdfunding for personal stuff.
Oh, gosh, yes. Look at GoFundMe and care what it is. Oh, I have... if you look at the categories on the... there's categories for in the videos, and you'll see something related to that, okay? They're gonna make us go!
Your session has ended. Please take a moment to rate this session.
Okay, now here's a woman I tried to help who wanted to start a garlic farm. And that's a growth business, and that's it. And she's in Virginia and everything. So here's what I was able to come off the top of my head, the kinds of sources of free money to start your own garlic farm. So watch this. Hi, Wanda, you there?
I'm here. How are you doing?
Fine. Where are you at? You sound southern.
I am in Bedford, Virginia. I'm very southern.
I see. Oh, that's cool. What do you do now, Wanda?
Market on the internet.
Really?
What I want to do, Matthew, is I want to start a garlic growing business because what I've researched is that garlic is a very cash crop.
Right.
And in the note, you'll notice that I told you that my brother's a veteran, he's a partner, and I'm a woman, so I didn't know if you knew if there's anything available for us. And those, you know.
You want to do actually the farming too, or what?
Yes, that's what I want to do is the farming.
Ah, yes. And actually, do you have any farming stuff now? I mean, do you have a farm now or anything?
Yeah, we have a farm now, 100 acres where we raise Black Angus cattle.
Ah.
I want to do something with garlic because it's very lucrative.
Yeah. No, I think so. And in Virginia, there's a lot of stuff. What's that city you're in Virginia again?
It's in Bedford. It's between Roanoke and Lynchburg. You know where Jerry Falwell is in Lynchburg?
Yeah. Okay. Bedford. Okay. What's your email, Wanda?
It's guiding, Guiding, light, L-I-G-H-T, the number 8 at gmail.com. It's guiding light to the number 8 at gmail.com.
Okay. I'll send you some stuff, okay? Oh, did you just text me? No, I said. But yeah, I mean, it's agriculture. I mean, particularly small business. They want more people doing this, you know, particularly in rural areas. I'll try to find you some, you know, there's two places you should check, and actually agribusinesses, that's big in Virginia. I was just doing some research down there, and they have special things to help people start that kind of businesses. What you get will depend. In other words, grants, loans, or expertise, or marketing help, all that kind of stuff. So when you go looking for help, don't say, hey, I'm looking for a grant. You know, that just pisses people off because you sound greedy. But that's what you want, and it's real. And so what you want to do is just, hey, I need assistance to start this business, to try to learn what's available, you know, for that. Because number one, I think you have going for you is rural areas. I mean, tell you the truth, women and veterans, and that's a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It means more, tell you the truth, if you're going to sell your garlic to the government, you know, and they probably buy more than anybody else. And so that would be helpful. But for general help and money and whatever, it really, you know, it's a small percentage. There's just so much general money for not that. It's silly just to look for that and just to look for anything when you're going. There's two places you want to call, I think, is your Business Development Center. If you call 211,
okay,
that's a hotline all around the country that shows you about nonprofit organizations and government programs. And just say for help starting a business and you're looking for the Small Business Development Center, not the SBA. This is a state program at the Small Business Development Center, it's called. And they sit down with you for free and help you think through that whole schmagegi. And actually, I was just reading, I think it's this month, they're having a seminar somewhere in Virginia, down there somewhere, maybe not quite that far down, in one of the economic development areas for, you know, food-related startup businesses. Yeah, let me try to find that. I mean, off the top of my head, what are you doing? I mean, that sounds like growth area. I mean, all the snob and food and, you know, all the stuff that's happening. I mean, I go to every restaurant here in the Washington area. Everybody claims they're hooked up with 15 farmers, and that's where they get everything from. You know.
I'll tell you something else I'd like. If you run across anything about that would help me in selling garlic to the government, I'd love to have that information.
Okay, that is, there are offices, see, that get grants to do that. In other words, these professionals know how to sell to the government. They get a grant from the government to help people like you sell to the government. So that, but I mean, if you're not growing it yet, you know, that's I would concentrate on how that is, because that will be a process, probably like the growing, and, you know, getting that stuff, you know, going. But again, I think with that, talking to these people in your state and county organizations there, they'll have a sense of the market all that kind of stuff, and give you some feedback on if this is a good, crop. I mean, you sense that already, but just to get, some other feedback on it, you're not completely nuts or something, would be good. And then, but the actual selling, because that's a long process, I would think you got to get seeds in the ground and make sure you're in the business first. I mean, and don't ever hesitate. Just email me. Actually, I got a great interview of a guy down in Virginia who helps small businesses. That's all he does, and he's free from the government to help you do that. And he sat there in the interview, I'll send you a link to that too, is saying that you don't need to hire an expert to do any of this stuff, and you don't. And that's what I'm trying to educate people about doing, that you don't need. So in doing this, let me show you the bases to touch their county, and state and federal, because they all want you to succeed because you'll create a job,
Yeah.
And that's the key to all this. And you have a Aggie related business now, so and the biggest thing about it, you're a taxpayer. So when you're ever stuck with this, you call your elected official and tell them, hey, I need help doing this,
Okay.
And they may not know everything, and they call me a lot of times, say, hey, where'd you say this is? But they have staff that just does this for free. See?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. And another thing to handle is something called 211. That's a hotline number that you could call to find government help for anything, or nonprofit organizations and things like that, to help anything. Like I did a video on it just the other day. You need to get your sidewalk shoveled, for free. Yeah, and it's just, we have so much free help but we're not organized. And so if you search for it on the internet, you'll never find it, because you'll find the people selling you something. The people giving away for free won't show up on Google.
Okay.
Because they, it costs money to get on the first page. So you'll see 50 million websites, and the first 10 pages will people selling you stuff because they spend a lot of money figuring that out, how to get there.
Matthew, do you think there's any money out there to help me buy 10 to 100 acres?
Yes, I don't think a grant, maybe, but that's less likely. And that, you see, rural development is a growth area for small business, everything. We want to keep people there. So it means economic development to do that. And there's USDA, your regional office, Department of Agriculture. They have grants and loans, for ag-related businesses and all kinds of funny things. And that's why the best way to do all this is get a list of what they have, so you could see how to make what they have of value to you. If you go in and say, hey, here's what I need, that's not as effective as seeing what they need and how you could fit in.
Oh, that makes sense. Let me ask you, do you know if there's any land conservation banks or land banks?
I wouldn't know, but these people down there would, and that's why the experts, I'll send you some stuff. Actually, I'm going to send you, I have a report that somebody wanted to start making food in their house or something, food related business. And I did a whole bunch of research. I'm going to send you a copy of that report. And that will give you all the sources in Virginia to find for starting a business. And I did the research already on that, and it may not be for your county, but you'll see how to find the ones for your county in there.
How do I find people who do good research? Even if I pay them, how do I find good people?
Do research, man. I'm starting to do that. I think because that's what people. I send the stuff and they don't do it. And, it's still hard. It's so hard. What you can try. There's two places you could try, and just do tests. It's hard to test anybody. It's hard to judge who's good and bad, except by results. So that's why you go on, Fiverr, Fiverr.com,
Okay.
and Upwork, UPWORK, and Fiverr, like there are people that will do things for $5 for you. Test them. Find people who do research or writing or something. Say, I'm looking for this. So they see who will do something for $5 or $10 for you to see what they can do. That's how I used to hire researchers. I mean, instead of writing resume, it doesn't matter. Anybody could say anything they want. So you give them a small project, and I'll hire 5-10 people at $5-10 a piece. It's cheaper than doing anything else.
That makes sense. It's still good they are.
Yeah, and that will tell you more. That's why on these, there's platforms now like Fiverr that make all that easier. Okay? And that's what's cool about our life today. Like here, look at what we're doing here.
I love this. I love this office hours. It's really neat.
Yeah. How'd you find out about me on this or whatever?
I got an email from you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, good. Okay.
I bought a lot of your stuff.
Oh, you're the one. Okay.
Lots of your stuff I bought, it's on your email list. So when they sent this through, I said, "Oh my gosh, yeah."
Okay, great. Okay, I'll send that out to you, Wanda. That report I did.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know we're getting ready to run out, but I thank you so much for taking
My
the time.
pleasure. You bet. Okay, I'll be back on here soon, so keep an eye out. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Now this is interesting because I think this guy turned out to be smarter than I am. But he's looking for free sources of money. Actually, to give a speech and to tell people he was giving a speech to who are really alternative sources of medicine people. People who have, maybe massage therapists or alternative sources of energy and medicine, stuff like that. And we're brainstorming on ideas. And I think he came up with the best. So watch this, it's fun. There he is, Adam.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. What state are you in, Adam?
I'm at the Jersey Shore, New Jersey.
Ah, the Jersey Shore. What city?
It's called Tom's River.
Tom's River. Yep. No, well, isn't that there's something, I don't know why. I think years ago I did a seniors book, and there was a lot of seniors in the Tom's River area for some reason.
Well, you better believe it.
Right. Yeah. I remember driving up there doing a radio show. So is that what your health information is about, or business?
Well, I'm a web developer, and I help people with their marketing and their advertising. I basically chose this career while I was still in high school, and
Wow.
I'm now 33, so it's been about 20 years.
Wow, cool.
And I love it because I get to do a new thing every time. And different customers and new opportunity to do something I never did before. For example, the one that I have right now, we're setting up a bookings calendar for their chalets in Costa Rica. So they'll be able to be connected to Kayak and Priceline and TripAdvisor. I never did that before.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited.
Oh, that's cool.
To help them with that. And so, the reason why I'm reaching out to you is because I've joined the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and they've asked me to give them a presentation Thursday, and I'm going to be speaking about, the name of my presentation is Tools to Attain Your Dream of Internet Wealth, and I'll be speaking to acupuncturists and massage therapists.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
other holistic wellness professionals. And so I had planned to mention office hours as this tremendous resource, and then was, so excited when I saw that you were one of the advisors.
I see. Right. No, I would think, and when I would do it, I'd get a list. There's other things like this, so if they're doing that, I mean, for somebody in those, healthcare related services, I mean, another thing, there's other platforms like this that either for a fee or maybe for free or whatever, is my suggestion is to, just get on them all, as long as it doesn't cost you anything, you just keep doing everything because you don't know what works. And we're all guessing, and what worked for somebody won't work for you. And so you just get on every bloody platform available. Also, they should get on the platforms where they train and teach. Like Udemy, they could start, any one of them could start any kind of course for free on Udemy. Or Curious.com is another kind of. So there's, I'm sure if you Google one of them, you'll find other ones like that. So I would do the courses because any of the courses are free to go on. Now the other thing that may be interesting, we're all looking for help or whatever, it is I think the best way to do things in marketing is to see who already has an audience, and instead of building one is so hard, and that's why these platforms are interesting. And then other people who have audiences or whatever, in other words, like let's say who are besides massage therapists or whatever you have?
It's everybody who's into holistic. The last speaker was flow medicine, and he was formerly the director of a hospital, and now he runs a farm where he teaches that, slow down and all this and that.
Right, all this and that. Something at 32 years old you can't understand, right? No, I'm teasing you.
This is why I've chosen to go this way. Is because if I were to do an advertising campaign for American Express or Pepsi, what would I get out of it? A free case of Pepsi?
Exactly. Right.
If I work with the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce,
right, exactly. That's great.
Food acupuncture or something like that.
Well, here's another thing. Don't forget, it's easy to do a book now. So anybody could do a book. So you can, you don't even, like to do a Kindle book. It costs no money. So they could put in, and what they can do too is do an ebook of, 10 ways to reduce stress in, with shitty jobs or something, we don't know, or sports or anything they think there's a market for, and put it on Kindle, all for free. Now the other thing, see, once you do that, then you can market it to websites that may be into sports or whatever, that then you could share the revenue with somebody like that. So if you have a book on how to relieve pain from pitching fastballs or something like that,
Well, let me get a little bit more concrete for you. So because I was thinking about it, and I had actually through office hours spoken to one of the former presidents of Saatchi & Saatchi, and he took one look at my website. He says, it sounds like to me that you're a soup to nuts kind of guy that works with small business owners that make about $5 million a year. I said, wow, that sounds pretty accurate. He said, because anybody who has more than $10 million is probably going to be hiring an agency or multiple people in their own department. So you really want folks, you really help people get from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 figures. And when I said that to one of the folks over at the Manhattan Chamber, they were like, whoa, wait a second. Don't throw 7 or 8 figures around in this room, because most of the folks here are, they're into massage therapy, and they're not, and they're worried that they're not going to make their rent.
Right.
And so, I'm like, wow, maybe these folks aren't my customers, and which took a lot of pressure off, because now, I'm like, okay, maybe I can just help them with some good advice. And so what I thought I would do, and so on Thursday next week, I've built myself a DIY teleprompter, and I'm going to read from the script that I'm writing. I'm going to live broadcast it to YouTube. So hopefully you'd be interested in watching if I send you a link. But what I want to demonstrate to them is, rather than theory or, marketing theory, I'm just going to do it. And what I'm going to do is start a water filtration business.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what's something that I'm always complaining about? It's the fact that, unfiltered water in restaurants tastes terrible. Why do I need a lemon?
All right.
And so I'm going to make a website. It's going to be simply, I'll just build it with Squarespace. It costs, $8
Right.
to for the first month of Squarespace. And I'll put up a form, enter your email address, and I'll send you a free pH tester strip. It costs me the stamp.
Right.
To mail them a pH tester strip. And then if they get that in the mail and they test their water and of course see that their water is dirty, then they would have to call back or come back to the website and request a quote. That would be the next thing. If they request a quote, then I have any number of water filtration businesses that I could funnel that lead to.
Well, that sounds great.
And so I guess, so maybe let's spend 5 minutes brainstorming on that.
Well, so this would be something just to show them how to do something like that? Is that what I mean?
Yeah. I'll create. I'll demonstrate. I'll create the Facebook and the Twitter page, and I'll set up the Squarespace and add the form, and show them, hey, it takes no more than an hour or two to validate an idea by putting something, open up a free Gmail account, and see if anybody's interested in the thing that you're offering, to get their email address.
I think,
email address.
Yeah. Let's see, I think that's perfect. That's better than I would have ever come up with. And that is only personally, I would stay on that. To show people now how they can, market for nothing almost and create something out of air or whatever. They're going to go to Saatchi and Shati and they're going to, they'll read anything about advertising and it's all about spending money. And what you're showing them, you don't have to.
Yeah, and I actually bought one of your books when I was in high school. I never, I did crack the cover, but I never really intended to do it. But I'm, now I'm looking at what you've got going on online. I'm like, okay, I should be a member of of Matthew's stuff, and perhaps.
What you said. I'm trying to get people to do like what you're doing, and that's gonna. It's the same really when I was doing all government stuff too. That stuff is there. It's just opening a mind a little bit and putting some effort, and that's why I think what you're doing in that speech is just showing them, hey, look, see, they'll run into somebody that if they know nothing about computers or websites, somebody will get $500 from them or something to do that, or $1,000.
I could show them how to, and this is what so this is what I'm curious, especially about. If I can do it for myself for this water filtration, if I can include that in my presentation, because this is the first of several, this will be the introduction, and so because it's going to be on YouTube. If I use some of your techniques and get myself some money, people will believe.
Right.
So I think, hey, why not? Like I would like to see people drinking cleaner water.
Right.
And there's what actually prompted me was there's a new restaurant in the Lower East Side called the Alchemist Kitchen, and their water filtration system is like out on display. And I thought, this I think is marketing. This is marketing right here. They're showing like, why would you go anywhere else? And I thought, oh my God, the ice cubes in in people's drinks at night, are, have got to be so gross and unfiltered. Of course, they're not filtering the ice cubes, but the Alchemist Kitchen is, and that's where I got the idea. So, okay, maybe there's.
No, I think that's but what you generate is a lead generating thing. Now that's what's really.
To show them how to make a lead generator.
Yeah, but see, this to me could be bigger than just showing them. And selling leads on the internet is what everything's about. And doing a little research, you find the people who are selling leads, and then you can find out what they're worth, and then you start getting traffic to get these kinds of things, Or the other thing to do is all the people in that business, you say, how much would you pay for leads? And because you're an internet guy, you just, once you find the model, you just hire, a kid somewhere to keep it pumping and spitting out names, and mailing out the strips.
Yeah, I mean, that if that led to enough people,
right,
then I, of course, could open up a store and sell ice cube trays.
Oh, I thought you were selling leads, though.
Well, no, I mean, the website, if enough people put their email address in,
yeah,
seeing some traffic, then maybe I would, add a page and sell, ice cube trays.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, right.
Or a more comprehensive, here,
right.
you got your free pH test.
Right.
Well, here are the other types of tests. And
I see.
some
Right.
of them are actually pretty expensive. So I thought, okay, well maybe, Mr. Lesko knows which of your books or which of your things that you might have already, said where to look for this type of money to help me. Cause that's what I'm thinking. If I can get myself some free money, as you say, and demonstrate that in video, people would be like, oh wow, my Reiki career is just kind of
right. Well, I think what you're doing, you could start it on a small scale and bootstrap. The amount of time and effort to find that free money, if you spent that same time and effort,
exactly.
Which is sustainable. The other thing is not sustainable. You get it once and that's it. Yeah.
We've only got a few seconds.
Yeah.
Are you interested? I'd like to send you the link for the live broadcast, which will be Thursday next week.
Yeah. Will it also be there afterwards or what?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Here's my email.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much.
Okay, Adam. You're a great guy. Good stuff.
Your session has ended. Please take a moment to rate the session.
Here's a nice guy I try to help. He's got a disability and can't work, so he's looking for ways to earn money on the computer because he can't get out and be like a normal person and get a normal job. So I helped him out in 10 minutes to show him sources of free money and help to be able to do that. And even if you don't have a disability, you can still use these sources. So watch. So you have a disability and you're trying to start a business?
I got hurt on my job. June will be 11 years.
Wow.
And I've been on disability. Well, I was on workers' comp, and then I had to fight them. They wanted to kick me off, blah blah blah. And so I had to go on Social Security, and then Social Security fought me, and I had to take them to court.
Wow.
And I won. So I've officially been on since about the 2011.
Wow.
And my background, I got hurt actually working a part-time job for U.S. Airways as a baggage handler, but my career, basically, I was a stockbroker for 9 years, and along those, for 28 years, I was an insurance advisor, seller, and I specialized in selling annuities. But this back thing really knocked me out. I can't drive around and get in and out of cars and everything like that. And the doctor tells me stand the pain as long as I can, but try not to get surgery because 90% of the time it doesn't work.
Right.
5% of the time it's worse afterwards.
Right. No, I that's my understanding also. Now you're taking some courses now, or what is that?
I'm taking courses thanks to you. I'm taking some courses on the Coursera platform.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
One's in search engine optimization. Another one's in international marketing. And I'm taking some other stuff that I've just saved my money and paid for. And currently I'm trying to get something going with video marketing, but part of the model is to buy Facebook ads. And I get a grand total of $915. I'm 62, and I get a grand total of $915 a month to live on for a month. So it's difficult putting the money together to buy the ads and stuff. I can eke out $100, but the model moves better if you can put in, 500 or 1,000.
Yeah. Well, let me. We don't have much time. What are you selling now?
It's something called affiliate marketing. So I don't have anything particular to sell. I'll just find out what the market is going. What the market demand is, and then I'll find a product to meet the market demand and place myself in front of it with video ads and things of that nature. There's a guy who's teaching me how to do it. I bought his course and he's answering questions and stuff. He's very successful at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know specifics, so I can't judge. What if that's good or bad. My thought, because you don't have money, is don't spend money doing anything, no matter what it is, because there's so many ways that you can do it without money to test. In other words, I mean, like I've written 100 books and only 10 have made money. So my theory is, and what's now, and the more people, I've talked to about 700 people, if you've seen my interviews, of people starting stuff like this. Everyone's guessing, nobody knows. And we send money, we give money to experts because we don't know. We think somebody else does, but they don't either, so they're guessing. So you might as well take your own guess. And the hardest part of anything, I think, is staying in the game. So if you don't believe in something, then it's less of a chance that you'll hang in there long enough to figure it out. And the thing to me is, wow, how do you figure something out without running out of money? Now, there are services maybe you could do. There are maybe products that you believe in. You could set a store for $20, and market without advertising. See, if you believe that you'll advertise somewhere and make money, I mean, I don't know how to do that now. and I spent a lifetime doing that. So you have to find out how to do that for free, and there's ways to do that. In other words, again.
I already have some software that can help me find out in-demand products and services. So that's not really a problem. I don't have to spend money for it because I already spent the money for it. Some of the ongoing things, like for running ads and things like that, is what I'm struggling with. And I do it through Facebook and stuff like that. But that's like the long road to hoe. And if I have to hoe that long road, that's what I have to do. But I'm trying to find a way that'll give me a little a boost forward, maybe 3 steps ahead of where I'm going to go, 1 step at a time.
Well, I mean, you can search for grants for that small business and everything, and it may be loans, and you may get trapped into that. I mean, to me, it will take as much effort to find that kind of money, because small money to do that, as it would be to start seeing a return on stuff you could get for free. In other words, if you have a product now, I mean, the way I sell most of my stuff, and if you've seen me around, selling books and everything, I rarely paid for any advertising. See? And what to do on the internet and whatever is you find people, if you have a product now, do you have a product in mind at all?
Actually, no, but it really is no problem. I can go under, you've heard of ClickBank before, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, well, I can go into ClickBank and per this guy's marketing model, find a product to sell that has enough demand. So finding a product really isn't the problem.
Yeah.
It's just getting enough traffic to my offer.
Well, to me, if it's somebody else's product, it is a problem, because then that's where all the margins are. In other words, you have to then, that's why he's asking you to advertise. Why doesn't he advertise and do it?
No, he doesn't sell his product. He sells his knowledge. The products are whoever it is whose stuff is selling really well right now on ClickBank. It's not his.
Yeah, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah.
He's an affiliate marketer.
Right. Okay.
He doesn't own the product.
Right.
He doesn't own the product. He just owns the method of selling it.
Right. Okay. Well, now affiliate marketing. I don't understand. I mean, I understand the concept or whatever, but if it's not your own product, then see, to me, it's if you find a product. So in other words, see, all the margins are there. Anybody who has a product that they're letting you sell, that means you're taking all the risk. Say, in marketing, that's where the risk is, in marketing. And like me, I could do a product and anything. I don't know what the hell to sell, you know. And
Right.
but if I buy a product, in other words, then there's no margin, you know, left. I mean, that's why, to me, it's like if you have, like, I used to sell my books in bookstores, so I would give half the money to the bookstore.
Your session has ended.
Oh,
Please take a moment to rate this session.